You are listening to The Black Landscape with Andrea Spearman, where Black excellence is always trending. Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Andrea Spearman, and this is The Black Landscape, where we engage with emerging and established Black leaders here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a review of the show on Apple Podcasts or in the comments of our social media. This is your host, Andrea. I am a light-skinned Black woman with my dark brown curly hair down and framing my face. Today, I'm wearing black and brown glasses with a yellow and black t-shirt that reads Afro Comic Con in yellow letters in between two African characters. Shout out to Afro Comic Con. Y'all go follow them on Instagram and all the things. So we're here with our special guest, Mélia Mills. Please describe yourself to the people.
Yes, I am caramel coated. I have dark brown wavy hair. I have on a black V-neck t-shirt with an Aries nameplate because I'm an Aries.
All right.
And I'm happy to be here on this podcast with Andrea.
Hey, welcome. So, Miss Lady, you wear so many hats as an actress, writer, comedian, and rapper. But let's start at the beginning. Describe your childhood growing up here in the town.
So, born and raised in the Bay. I was actually born at Alta Bates in Berkeley, but we lived in Oakland. So,
that's all right. We all in the Bay. We all over.
Right. So, grew up Lakeshore, that whole area. Went to Shelton's Primary Education Center, which the principals and owners there helped raise Kamala Harris. So, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So, we had 5 classes a day. It was like, it felt like a high school kind of curriculum. We learned Spanish. We learned about all our Black leaders. And yes,
come on.
Focus on that. And so I went there from 1st grade through 3rd grade. And then in 3rd grade, I said to my parents, I really want to be at a bigger school where I never know everybody and everybody doesn't know me. And they let me do that. So I then went to Crocker Highland. So now I'm in public school. And in 4th grade, I had a powerful African-American older female teacher, Mrs. Connors.
Come on, Miss Connors.
Mrs. Connors. She was stern and she taught us a lot, but she was sweet too, had like that grandma energy to her. So she was amazing. And then my 5th and 6th grade teachers, they were kind of phoning it in. And as a kid, you're like, oh, this is cool. I don't have to do a lot of work. And then when you look back on it, you're like, oh, I kind of wasted a couple of years of my life. I could have been better in math.
Right.
And,
hold on. I was supposed to learn something.
Right.
Yeah, I was supposed to be learning.
Right. If I had learned some more. So then I went to Montero for junior high. And then I went to so I had to get an interdistrict transfer to go there because I wasn't in the district of Montero. My mom went up there to talk to the principal, and my mom has a master's in education from USC. So the principal loved her and said, would you be interested in coming to teach here? So we both started junior high.
Come on. I love it.
Bad in the sense that, anytime I got in trouble, people be like, oh, I'm going to just go talk to your mom. Right. And then and we had like a El Dorado Cadillac that my mom did not want my dad to buy, but my dad bought this Cadillac and she's driving it to school. And then one of the homies comes wearing the emblem from the Cadillac on his chain to school and tried to tell me it was gone off my mom's car. He tried to tell me he didn't steal it.
Sir, who is this criminal?
I don't want to name names.
Right. We're not gonna name the names because hopefully they've learned and bettered themselves by now. God bless you.
God bless. So she was with me in junior high, and then she went up to Skyline when I was a 9th grader, and then I was like, Mom, please don't be in high school with me. So she was in high school with me. And same thing.
Wait, you a fellow Titan?
Yeah, I'm a Titan.
Titans. Hey, Skyline Titans. Okay, anybody who didn't go to Skyline, this is not your moment. This is for us.
Okay. So yeah, went to Skyline, then graduated, went to UCLA, decided to become a theater major there. So at Skyline, I got a scholarship to do, I was the only African American female chosen to do the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. So like go there, learn, act with them. One other Black guy from my class and then one other Black guy from across the country. So there was only 3 of us. But within that experience, they like you were there and everybody got dubbed different names and they dubbed me the hand jive queen.
Listen, born to hand jive. Boom, 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 boom,
yes.
boom, boom.
I'm like, I don't need others naming me the hand jive queen.
Like, wait a minute. What y'all trying to say?
Wait a minute, right. We all getting accolades and that's what y'all go through me. So anyway, it was an interesting experience to say the least. So then, I went to UCLA, majored in theater. And then you know how your junior year, you can do a lot of people do like, oh, I'm going to travel abroad my junior year or whatever they decide to do. So I decided I wanted to go to a Black college my junior year. And there was nothing that would allow, and my parents were like, you could do it as long as you graduate from UCLA within the 4 years, you know? So I went and spoke with some of the people that are over the department at UCLA and created a program between myself and Howard to go and do my junior year at Howard. So it was only supposed to be a semester and I loved it so much. I stayed the whole year. I was in a film that Al Freeman Jr., who was Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X, he directed it. I starred in that film. I was on the Dean's List and honor roll. Felicia Rashad came and spoke to us and led like a master class. Amazing, enriching, like what I feel white people probably got at UCLA. I was not
right. That the HU experience.
Yes, you know. So love that. And they came back and graduated from UCLA. Then started doing stand-up. So I took a stand-up class and then I performed at the Improv and Cuba Gooding Jr. was there and he was like, oh, I want to introduce you to my manager. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld got up like right after me and I was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. So then I ended up doing Laugh-A-Palooza in Atlanta, Jamie Foxx's Laugh-A-Palooza. So I went out to do that. It was an interesting experience because we were told like at the last minute, oh, you can't use any curse words or like sexual language or da-da-da. So I kind of changed my whole set and it just wasn't the set that it had been before, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, how you gonna tell me last minute, bro?
Last minute, like the day of, and I'm still green, you know, I'm new to comedy. So I'm like, oh, I got to change all these jokes. And I didn't know I could just like, you know, bleep it or say something different that still had the same effect. I was like, oh, I got to change my whole set. And so, you know, it just didn't turn out the way I would have liked it to. So that's like, you know, and you hear Eminem in your head.
Sabotage.
Like, yeah, you hear Eminem in your head like, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. So I'm like, I missed my chance, you know? So yeah, that happened. Licked my wounds. And then I was in a movie that was filmed in Oakland, Black August, about political George Jackson, that Sam Stiles was the director. I played Brenda Jackson, who was a FBI informant who was undercover as a Black Panther. And, you know, that was shot in Oakland and my family got to come out and watch some days of the shooting. And that was just like all the best things for me. I'm doing my career. I'm in my hometown. It's Black Panthers. It's like all the things, you know?
Black on black on black on black.
Exactly. My parents have several friends who are Black Panthers and they helped with the free lunch program too. So so all that just was like, this is amazing and wonderful. And Sam Stiles, great director. I wrote for a bunch of shows and then wrote some comedic parodies. I just wrote one for Kevin Hart has a new show coming out called Little Kev. It's an animated show about his life. So I wrote a parody for that. I had real jobs too. I worked for Judge Judy and Judge Joe Brown.
Wait, hold on. How'd you get over with them judges?
So I feel like it was a period of time where I was like trying to find jobs, you know, because as an actor, you're always got to have a day job too, you know. So somebody who lived in my apartment building worked for Judge Judy, and she connected me with a woman who worked there, who was like the hiring person. And, you know, she was kind of racist and didn't want to hire me. The hiring woman, you could tell she was giving that energy, but I just was persistent and tried to like kill her with kindness, to get myself in there. When she had me come in, she had me wipe down the plastic trees And I'm
What
like, I don't see anybody else doing that. Like all this dust, like she was just giving me random
does
jobs.
that have to do
I'm a
with anything,
yeah,
ma'am?
right. So that's
I'm a janitor.
right. So she had me doing crap like that. And then people took notice of like my work ethic and everything. And by the time I left there, I was the research manager. So I would send people out into all across the country into courts.
Come on.
Chantel Dyer, I'm giving her a shout out. She's an Oaklander. And she I had her working on the show for us too.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna hook my people up too. So they go into the courts, they pull the cases, and I control those cases and then pass them out to the producers on the show. So yeah, I was
Wow.
there. Judy and Joe Brown. Judy gave nice bonuses. Joe Brown,
Now see what that lady meant for ill turned into your good. Won't he do it?
Absolutely.
Turned
Yep.
it around.
Turned it all the way around. And before that, I was like a stylist for Cash Money Records, juvenile. Like, yes, I've had
Wait.
so many different.
Okay, now see that wasn't in the notes. Hold on. Wait, talk a little bit about this Cash Money taking over for the 9-9.
What happened to be in Hollywood at a bank, black chick in there. We both were like started chopping it up, and she said, "Oh, I'm working with Cash Money, doing this stuff. Like, I like your style, blah blah blah." Ended up going with them, going on the road. Basically they had us going to like Sloss and Swap Meet to pick out a bunch of extra large white t-shirts because that's what they wanted. So we did a lot, but it was like, they needed somebody who would do that. So I did that for a while, would be with them, hanging out while they're getting their tattoos, all that good stuff.
Wow.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else you have in front. I'm like, I've had so many different jobs. I probably can't remember.
No, this is great. Listen, we're all on a journey.
Right.
And you never know where it's going to take you.
You really don't.
That's why it's really encouraging for folks to hear, not just young people, but people of any age, You never know where that one job might lead. And that's why sometimes you got to follow your heart. Like, I'm going to take this gig.
Yes.
For what it is in this moment. Because you never know where it's going to lead. You never know who you're going to meet. Because clearly, you was going to meet Birdman and all them people.
I did not.
And buying white t-shirts.
I did not. And yes, I've had a lot of shitty jobs. I literally cleaned urinals for one of my jobs. Yeah, which then, I ended up doing some comedy sketches there and ended up getting on a comedy team there. And it's like, you can't be afraid to get your hands dirty. You can't think any job is beneath you. Like, some things are humbling, and like you said, God has the last word in all of this. And so, yes. And so, what, like you said, what people meant for your evil turned into your good. So it's all been a blessing. It's all been a blessing. And I'm so happy to have arrived at this place now, because the business is a lot of auditioning and waiting to be picked. And I just said, I need to take the reins and make my own thing. Like, I can't, because you're auditioning for 2 or 3 minutes at a time, and it's 100 people that look similar to you, and like people are looking at your tape for 2 seconds before they move on. How do you have any control in that? There's no control in that. So I wanted to have the control, and I wanted to, and I'm moving on to my show, but I wanted to write a love letter to Oakland, and an appreciation for all that he gave me, the good and the bad. And my show deals with the good and the bad because, I got bullied in school, and a lot of people deal with bullying, and, just trying to show you like school and high school and all that isn't the end. Don't think that that's all there's going to be. You will get past that point. That point is a blip in the tail of your life, So if you can just get past that. And I know it's hard today for kids with social media and everything, because it was at least like, hey, if we get bullied, we get to go home. And then it gets to stop till tomorrow. But, now in social media, it's like, hey, people are harassing you online all day and night, So I know it is hard for kids nowadays, but it's just like, just get through that time and get out and be who you were meant to be, because there's a plan for you. There's a plan for your life. And you may not know it now, but just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you will achieve your dreams. If you can see it, it can happen for you.
Absolutely. And with that, we're going to take a short break To catch up on previous episodes of The Black Landscape, download on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, and Google Podcasts. When we come back, we will hear more from Mélia Mills. We're back with Mélia Mills. Let's talk about your current show, The Allure of Thug Life at the Marsh in Berkeley. You gave us a little bit before the break, but tell us what it's all about.
Okay, so The Allure of Thug Life is what I've coined a hip-hopsicle. It's a musical comedy, and it's about a 15-year-old girl who comes from an upper middle class family, and she longs to be a gangster rapper. So she
bless her.
She wants to go riches to rags, and yes, and in the process, she encounters some bullying and some boy situations and some bullets. So yeah, it's like, what is she gonna? She's trying to straddle between both lives, the good life and the thug life, and ultimately, what will she choose?
So boys, bullets, and bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was inspired by
my life.
I heard that, and it's really not that uncommon when you think about it, especially here in the Bay Area. It's like some people, they grow up in this like privileged, even if it doesn't seem like it's privileged for a lot of folks, but you see the people, especially like once you transfer from like private, as a person who went from private school to public school, who boy the difference.
Who boy.
And I could see how like other teenagers around that age coming from that place of like private school and then maybe to public school, or maybe even just meeting public school kids in their neighborhood communities and be like, oh, this is interesting and fun and exciting, and ooh, they going dumb and they racing cars, and
exactly, so much more exciting than my neighborhood. Oh, I'm in the Acorn Projects. Oh, a man is chasing me with a machete. Oh,
like right, from cotillion to machetes, like what? Exactly. From Jack and Jill to down the hill, the lower bottoms. Like, girl, what?
Lower bottoms, for real. Yeah,
ghost town. Like, yes, it's not uncommon for sure, and I'm excited to come out and see it, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. Like,
yeah,
and I'm sure like, yeah, that's like besides yourself, the self inspiration, but like, I'm sure you saw that like growing up all the time, right?
Oh, all the time growing up. Yeah, tons of people trying to do that, girls and boys. Yeah, and it's hard because you want to be cool and you want to fit in, and this is what being cool and fitting in is. Like, nobody thinks having stuff is cool, but everybody wants to have stuff.
I know it's such that fine line, especially during your teens, because, and I'll speak for myself, I definitely saw a mixture of people who had things or were middle class and were able to afford like brand name bags and jackets and clothing and such. But I also saw people who were struggling to bring a lunch to school every day. So
right.
I always thought of myself as somewhere in the middle because I wasn't too much worried about brand names, but
me neither.
But I always knew that I was cool on the inside. Right.
Even but I was like, people don't think I'm cool. I'm cool.
Like, I'm cool because I know I'm cool. I ain't got to worry. Listen, I'm gonna do me.
Right.
And that's also, I was a performing arts kid, so that's a whole different set of coolness.
It is. Yeah, you're like, well, we're separated from all that.
We're above. We're theater. We're dance. We're
exactly
above it. But but no, definitely, yeah.
The overarching thing, and it isn't. In other races, you don't find it as much. In our race, the cool thing is to come from poverty. That's the cool thing, you know? Yeah.
Which I, still don't understand that mindset, but I totally get it. It's totally relevant.
Right, because
To
it's in
a lot of
rap,
people, 'cause
it's
that's
in
what you see.
everything.
Yeah.
You hear it in rap and you see it in videos and it's like coming out the mud. I wanna come out the mud. I don't wanna like, what is it to already have had stuff? You need to show that you were grinding, you were
Yeah.
hustling, you came up, like
Yeah, you're earning that respect through struggle.
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, that's what the show touches on in a comedic way, in a musical way. There are deep and dark moments in there too, because it runs the gamut of the whole experience of trying to be down. And but I performed at the Hollywood Fringe Festival and it got tons of nominations. It won Best Musical. It got Pick of the Fringe. It got the Hollywood Encore Producers Award. And yeah, so I'm just so pleased that it is being received the way I wanted it to be received, because I put blood, sweat, and tears into it, and it's like my baby. So I'm happy to put it out into the world and have support of many different people backing it. And yeah.
And this is the one woman show.
Mm-hmm. Where I play a colorful cast of characters.
I love it. I love it when people can, switch up and be multiple characters at once. It's hard to do. So
thank you. Appreciate it.
We're going to make sure folks get out to see it. Tell us where and what time.
So it'll be at the Marsh starting Saturday, October 14th. It's going to be there for 5 Saturdays at 5 p.m. So that's October 14th, 21st, 28th, November 4th, and November 11th at 5 p.m. Opening night, we will have DJ Teray from Hieroglyphics.
Hey.
And post-show set. So, get there early, get there at 4 for that one. And all the other shows are at 5 p.m. That's the Marsh, Berkeley, 2120 Austin Way.
All right. And also tell the people where they can find you and learn more about you.
You can find me on Instagram at Mélia Mills, Melia, Mills, Mills. And you can find me at my website, meliamills.com. And I'm on TikTok at Mélia Mills TV.
On the Tickety-Tock, the clock app. Yes, all of Mélia's links will be in the caption show notes. Thank you so much, for talking with me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Andrea. Have a wonderful weekend.
All right, y'all tap in and support Black creativity. Thank all of you out there for listening and supporting another season. Again, leave a review of the show on Apple Podcasts or in the comments of our social media. This has been another episode of The Black Landscape with Andrea Spearman, where Black excellence is always trending.